people who are born visionaries never stop leaning into their imagination of things that can happen.
True.
You're always going to think about ideas. I'm always going to think about ideas. And you just so happen to be the talent. And the key to that is to find the executors. Find those people who can take your vision now and allow you to be the talent in it. Because you only have to communicate the vision one time to the right team. And then you sit and be the talent. And then everybody else are in the details of making it happen. But the struggle comes in trying to be all of those things and not really understanding which role you are. We did an episode a while back about number twos, being super strong number twos. And this kind of leans into that, right? So many people want to be the talent when realistically, you're just not the talent. And a good example of that are songwriters in the music industry who can sing.
Yep.
You can sing. Yo, behind off. But there's something about you that's not putting you in, and you're chasing the dream of being a singer. You believe that your talent is being the singer, but the record producers and the artists believe that your talent is actually just in writing the songs. Like, we get it. You're pretty, but you're missing personality, or you got personality, but you're missing the look that we're looking for, or whatever it is. So miscalculating what the talent actually is and trying so hard. And you hear about these stories all the time. Man, I was trying to be an artist and I was in the studio demoing songs, and then such and such artist walked in and was like, yo, let me get that. And then you end up being a songwriter and you thrive. But all the time you spent trying to be the main attraction, the singer, the artist.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think record labels do that, right? They have an amazing talent, then they hire a marketing department. And the marketing department's job is to say, yo, what can we do with this in a unique way? So obviously, I hope you all just at least start to think through, how can I approach this in a unique way? Because a good idea is just a good idea. But if you don't approach the market in a unique way, it's just a good idea. Attention, coaches, consultants, course creators. If you get paid based off your knowledge, I'm going to tell you something very, very important, okay? What if I could teach you how to make extra 5 to 6 figures every single month using simple Facebook and Instagram ads, all right? Let me tell you about my boy. He got the paid ad playbook. Listen, this paid ad playbook is going to give it to you for free, first off. Marquel Russell, one of the most genuine people I've ever met, he's created over $500 million in client revenue using the paid ad playbook strategy, all right? So listen, go to socialproofgift.com or text PROOF to 904-447-5274. If you want to get 50 to 100 new client leads every day that actually convert, you need to go to socialproofgift.com or text PROOF to 904-447-5274. And he's going to give you a bonus video that helps you with a strategy to customize your particular strategy for your particular business. All right, again, socialproofgift.com, text PROOF to 904-447-5274. Let's get into the episode.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. I am Donni Wiggins.
I'm David.
That's David.
I'm David. We are here, man, to talk entrepreneurship, how to grow stuff.
How to be committed to stuff, have longevity in your business.
How to not have commitment issues.
How to not have commitment issues.
We just found out that somebody has commitment issues, but she just doesn't want to accept it.
Yeah, and she is not me.
Jump in the chair. Go sit in the chair. Sit in the chair.
We're skipping the week?
No, we'll get to it. It's just so important. We're in the moment.
We are in the moment.
We're in the moment right here. Okay, so you grab the mic. Okay. So, do you have commitment issues?
Very close.
I never thought of myself as that type. Oh,
go ahead.
Is that better?
Yeah, should be all right.
I never thought of myself as a person with commitment issues until y'all said that. Because I've always looked at it like, I've been wanting to do fashion since I was a child. I never quit on that idea. So in my head, that was being committed.
Yeah. So I think you're committed to what you like to do, but if you don't have a specific project, like if you're saying, I want to be in fashion, but I am a stylist, right? And I've been being a stylist for the last 4 or 5, 6 years. I've been going to every set that I can go to, every whatever for the last 6. Then you're like, oh, well, I've consistently been working. But if it's like, I want to be in fashion, I'm going to start a t-shirt brand, that don't work. Okay, I'm going to do dresses. That doesn't, I'm not super committed to that. Or like what?
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like recently I've gotten more clarity on what my mission is. And I realized that like my goal or my mission is to be the example and then go and help other Black women do the same thing. So my brand, Jael, I envision it holding the same weight as Gucci. Like that's how big I want to build a brand. So realizing that now I hold everything I do to like a much higher standard, because in order for me to even get to that level, it's certain things that I can't allow, certain things that I can't accept. So this whole month, I want to say, I've been working on like rebuilding habits that I know I need to be able to get to that place. So like I said, like before y'all started recording, I spent like a year at my internship. Like I had to steward over my craft. Like the designer that I was working with, he held me accountable to practicing every single week. Like I had to. But once I left working with him, I stopped. And I could feel that it was like when I was working with him, my creativity was like on a whole new high. And then when I stopped, I started to feel like I was going through like a creative drought. So even this past month, I got me an accountability partner in that area. So now I have somebody who I can practice with every single week. And just like even I tried to get an accountability partner for like the business side of my business, like someone else who I know is trying to grow a brand. And we can meet together every week and focus on like building a brand, like building our brands. And so I can't say that, oh, I've been doing that for a long time now because I just started this month. But I will say something has finally changed in me. And you talked about it recently. I don't know if it was like on I don't know if it was on Morning Meetup or something, but you said you go through life and you have things that finally just, it changes everything for you. Like when you talked about being a cheesecake factory. And they were like, oh, you've been here for 3 years, you know? And you said that changed everything for you. And I just finally had that switch in me where everything just changed. And I realized like what I'm doing is so much more bigger than me. Like the people who purchase from my business now, it's more than just, oh, I'm buying a dress from her. It's like I'm making a statement by choosing her over Gucci, Versace, all of these places. Even like all the ideas like God has given me for my sewing company that I have to help Black women get to that same point. Like that's why I have to have my own fabric store. I have to have my own sewing machines. I have to have all of this, like my sewing classes, all of that. Though? I have to have commitment and consistency.
Yep. So your goal is, I just want to set a goal. Do something consistently for a long period of time. That's it. That's whatever that's going to be, whether it's going to be making dresses. I just don't want to see you next year. She's like, well, I don't do that no more.
I do jeans.
I have been doing dresses for like a couple years. Once I drop out of college. Yeah. Once I drop out.
How many dresses do you think you've made altogether in your life?
Let's say like 25 a year since like, or maybe 25 to 30 a year since 2019. So yeah, I have been doing that really consistently. I didn't think about that as like something being consistent with. But
you got your dress?
I did get my dress. She made me a beautiful dress for my birthday that I did not get to wear because I got sick. I had COVID. Okay. So there's that. Now I don't have like, I need like she made me a dress so fly that I can't just wear it to dinner.
Really?
I have to wear it somewhere. It has to be a big deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you be offended if I just did a photo shoot in it?
No, actually.
I just gotta wear
it. I definitely want to see it. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right. How's your week?
This last 7 days was better than the previous 7 days. I'll say that. I am in week 2 of my 90-day self-development journey, just on a journey to be the best version of myself. And for me, what I realize is when I get into these places mentally that I'm trying to get out of, I start connecting the dots and I realize maybe I've gotten away from my rituals, my habits, my routines. And that's exactly what happened. I have a routine where I meditate, I pray, I journal every single day like clockwork. And I got away from those things because the day started catching up to me. I used to be really, really consistent with owning the first 2 hours of my day every day. But then you start going to bed later, waking up later, and now I can't own the first 2 hours because I have a meeting in 45 minutes. And that means now I have to skip meditation or I have to skip journaling. And for me, doing those things, not doing those things really, really, really throws me off of my journey because I'm a writer and a reader by nature. Like I'm a communicator. So sometimes when there are things that you're thinking through and you don't have an opportunity to communicate them out, it just becomes a bunch of cloudiness in your head. So I have to write my thoughts out. I have to write out exactly what I'm doing. So anyway, I am about to complete the second week on my 90-day development journey. And I am feeling really good. I got to get control of going to bed at a better time. Yeah. How about you? How's your week?
Week was awesome. Literally just got off the plane from LA this morning and went home, took a shower, was on the morning meetup, came straight here. But everything's good, man. The lighting system is going up in a new space. It is going to look amazing. We did 2 interviews yesterday, and I'm going out to LA every month to, one, it's just like my vision is just a little bigger. What's so funny? What happened? Was it, what happened?
About him going to LA
They gotta tell us the joke now.
Like, you're interrupting the show with your laughter. We got to know why.
Tell us what it is. This might be a good topic of conversation. It's gotta be good. It's gonna be good.
It should be good.
I was asking Reese how LA was. He was just saying how busy it was, and I said, "Oh, that's just the travel life. You got used to it." Because I know how it is, where you don't know what's going on, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what's going to happen. So it's like you want to plan in your head something to do, but you can't. Because Dave is like, let's go do this. I don't feel it no more. Let's go do this.
We didn't do that much.
You probably didn't do that much, but in my head, I just know what that's like. Because I've experienced that for Reese. So it's just like, him experiencing it's kind of funny, just like you talking about going to LA every month. And I was like, oh, that's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You are nonstop.
It's go time.
You're nonstop.
Yeah, so I did one interview, and then Mark sent me a young lady. He was like, yo, you should interview her. And I looked at, she owns like some clubs out there. And he said like one of the top beauty supply stores out there. So he was like, yo, just try to do the interview today. I'm like, I'm not about to call her like, yo, we got a few hours if you want to do the interview. And I couldn't do it anyway, but he set up his studio and he wanted to use the studio. So I'm like, all right, I'll reach out to her. I know there's no way this woman who's lit is going to be ready. So I DM her like, yo, what's up? I'm David. I got a podcast, social proof podcast. I'd love to interview while I'm in LA. She replied immediately, yo, I would love to. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. The second interview we went to, shouts out to Happy Ice. They got it's a really, really dope story. And he's just brilliant. That interview was crazy. But the guy, Blame It on Quay, you familiar? So he was there. He just happened to be there. Like they were like together. And I didn't know who it was because he didn't have his like whole outfit on. Yeah. Just, you know what I mean? And he was like, yo, the guy was like, yo, this is Dave. You got a podcast. He was like, yo, I watch your stuff, man. I just seen you did a pretty view. I was like, dang, he got like almost 6 million followers. I'm like, yo, he's lit. Crazy.
He's lit.
So I realized that you just got to keep working. And you hear the phrase like, you never know who's watching, but I literally experienced that through just consistency. We 200 something episodes in. And I told myself like, I got to go out there regularly and more consistently and do more podcasts, not for podcast sake, but to get in different circles. So we did an interview with Cornell. He's just a bunch of YouTube followers and Instagram followers, like over 1 million. And some of the people where I watched their skits, they were just like walking in the room. I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan. They're like, oh, I like your podcast, stuff like that. It's crazy. So I figure we're in Atlanta. Obviously, we have, all the dope entrepreneurs in Atlanta and, kind of like the surrounding area. We got the Miamis and all that, but there's a whole nother like crew or industry over there. So I'm like, okay, it's go time. And I saw a sign. I forgot the guy's name, but it said the best interviewer on TV or something like that. I was offended. Like, who's he talking to? It was a flyer, and this guy's got buses and all that kind of stuff. I forgot the guy's name, but and I saw it a few months ago, and then I saw it again, and I said, "Oh, I got to come over here. I got to come over here and really show y'all what's going on."
Right, because they don't know.
They don't know.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. So you want to go next month?
Yeah. You got the dates?
Like the 16th.
Whatever.
16th, 17th, and 18th.
Let's do it.
I'll go speak at a school. So yeah. So that's really exciting. But talking to him actually, he has like it's like water ice. Most people don't know what water ice is, but it's like Italian ice, I guess, if you're most familiar. He started his Italian ice business, and he started with a truck. He said his first year, he made $300,000. The next year, made $500,000. But get this, in LA, you can get a food truck, right? Mm-hmm. And you can park the food truck wherever you can park. If there's a meter there, you just pay the meter. He made $300,000 at this one spot in front of this meter. He just keeps feeding the meter.
And you don't need to have a permit.
$300,000. I mean,
Joe.
You never know. But that's wild. Yo, you can literally, whatever
with
it is
no permit.
I think you get like a obviously food truck license or whatever.
Got you. And you just pull up.
But you just pull up. But you know, in Atlanta, you need a permit to sit here. You need a permit.
If you're double parked, you're fine.
Yo, he said anywhere there's a parking space, you can park a food truck and you can get busy no matter what it is. I'm not about to sit in a food truck all day.
I'm not sitting in a food truck, but we know people who will gladly sit in a food truck. We know people who are talented that deserve a food truck.
Yo, and I'm trying to get clarity. I'm like, yo, so if there's a festival, there's a big sporting event. He's like, yo, if you can find a parking spot, you could sit there. Yo, a Laker game, championship final. If there's a parking spot, you can park there and get busy.
I would be parked there a few days in advance. Pay whatever 100%. The fee is. Whatever the fee is. I'm parking the week before just to get into that spot.
He said his first year, he'll just come early, 7 a.m., secure that same spot. Mm-hmm. Just feed the meter.
You know, it's really interesting because you can make money from anything. From anything. What's the chick? Is it pronounced Bad Baby?
Bad
Baby.
Baddie
Baby.
Something like that.
Just did $52 million on OnlyFans. And it said that she didn't do any nudity, that she was just in lingerie. So she posted this video because the whole thing started because she purchased this house in Florida for $6 million cash. And so the blogs ate her up. Oh, she'll be broke, in a year. If you want to be broke by next year, just say that. Like all of that was going around about her because she purchased this dope crib, $6 million cash. I think it's in Miami, but somewhere in Florida. And so she let that go around for a couple of weeks, not responding to it. And finally, a couple of days ago, she released a screenshot of her earnings from OnlyFans, and it was $52 million. And then the blogs ate her up for that. And all the people in the comments saying, oh, that's Photoshop. I know Photoshop when I see it.
Hate
so
everywhere.
Then your girl can't hate everywhere. So then she comes back with a video. OnlyFans.com, scrolling up through her back office, and it shows you the breakdown of how she made the $52 million. And I believe it's been a little more than a year.
What's her talent?
She's 18 years old. So her talent, I don't know she's the Catch Me Outside chick.
Right, but what does she do? Is it music? Is it nothing?
I think she tried some music. Yeah, I think she tried some music and that wasn't her lane, but OnlyFans is her bread and butter.
Her lane?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about her. I just know.
How'd she do that?
But so here's the thing. So she's 18 years old. And of course, people who are familiar with OnlyFans, I read through the comments they were saying that there were so many men waiting for her to turn 18.
Weird.
Gross, right?
But she knows her market.
She knows her market. There were so many men waiting for her to turn 18. And so many people in the comments are subscribed to her. And they were saying she shows nothing, like no nudity. It's just all lingerie. But I did notice that like 20 plus million came from the DMs in her OnlyFans. So it's like, I'll show you this on my profile if you're paying at this rate. But if you want a little bit different, hit me in my messages, right? So I don't know what goes on in the DMs, but there were people who claim that they're in her DMs and it's still not nudity. Regardless, like there were people on OnlyFans when it first came out making millions just foot modeling and, you know, responding to fetishes of people. We can make money doing anything. Anything.
You want to start OnlyFans?
So about that, I was thinking like $52 million. I'm not sure how much I care what y'all think. I'm not sure how many cares I have to give at that point, right? Like, look, that's a whole different type of income. And in all seriousness, I mean, can business coaches thrive on OnlyFans?
I'm starting to hear that some are, but I think maybe some behind the scenes. Let me ask y'all, okay? Just behind the scenes, like photo shoots and stuff, lifestyle shoots and stuff. Would y'all pay $5 or $10 to see your boy?
That's
as a person.
What I was thinking was like, seriously, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans. Let's start an OnlyFans. But this is what I want to do. I want to do an OnlyFans, and I want to kind of like show the behind the scenes of me getting dressed, not the physical act of me getting dressed, but like here's, you know how the TikToks go. Here's outfit number 1. Here's outfit number 2. What do you like? Like I'm getting dressed behind the scenes.
Is that why you've been working out crazy? You saw that 52 million.
God makes things fit together, and you don't even know what's being worked on. But no, seriously, like what if we start and we talk a little bit and people will subscribe for that, but you get the behind the scenes. Like today, David is going to take you behind the scenes of shopping or getting dressed, or Donnie's going to take you behind the scenes of getting dressed and photo shoots. Like it's yo.
You know what?
That would be dope.
People would really subscribe to that. My sister watches this YouTube channel of girls just getting dressed and trying on outfits. And I'm like, yo, that's all they're doing? She's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. They have thousands to millions of subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about it, like all these people reading the comments on YouTube talking about you, Donnie. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.
Yeah, you got fans.
You got fans. And you got
only fans. Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me $10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year, positive, you're going to make $1 million. Would you give me $10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch your podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. 1 is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me $10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode. It's so many ways to...
Let us know in the comments if David and I started an OnlyFans channel. 1, would you subscribe? But 2, what do you want to see?
And I really is. What you want to see?
Okay, no, because the people who watch the Social Proof podcast are highly integral individuals, and nobody is going to say that they want to see either of us dropping it like it's hot. So seriously, what?
I don't know. I've been intermittent fasting. My joining is bad, so you never know. It's like a little mini muffin, a little mini muffin.
No, seriously, what do you guys want to see? Like, would you be interested in the behind the scenes, a day in the life of how we make decisions, dealing with, certain situations? I mean, and we can make it slightly sexy because it's us, right?
I'll make it a little sexy.
We can make it a little fun for you.
The thing, people, I think you just got to figure out what your market is. She found her market and she's just delivering to them what they wanted, right? So I think we all, I don't know, what is your biggest hesitation? Like, why haven't we, go to the chair. Why haven't you really put your foot on the gas? Like, what are we so afraid of to jump out there and do? Because I'm sure if she's not like showing nudity, somebody probably said to go on OnlyFans, make some money, you got to show some nudity. She's like, maybe not. I don't have to do what all of y'all are doing. And it worked.
Well, I think that I think she started in the lane of not showing nudity because if I am correct, I think she started her OnlyFans under 18 and under 18, you can't have nudity. And now she is 18 and it's still popping. So, I mean, at this point, your girl can retire for life with the right financial. Yeah, you're good. You're set for life. Now you just make the right investments and you let that money grow. Because I would never show it at 52. At this point, you'd be stupid to show your body you'd have made $52 million.
That's a fact. What's your hesitation?
I guess my biggest hesitation is the stigma that OnlyFans has. I know a lot of dudes would love to see me in some lingerie. Like, I get that in my DMs all the time.
Do that?
Yeah.
Guys or girls?
Oh, both guys and girls. But, like, a lot of guys. Like,
guys get off on that.
Yeah.
Because you're, like, tomboyish and they want to see what's going on?
Yeah, like, guys approach me all the time. They just, I don't know why. But that's also really weird to me because I would hate for more guys to approach me in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's like the DMs is one thing.
Listen, if you need management, David and I were really just talking about starting an entity where we represented other entrepreneurs.
Check this though, which is ill, right? Because you normally dress like, you don't dress like super duper feminine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not even a little bit feminine.
But because that's not something that she normally does, and OnlyFans will be dope if we get to see her in those looks.
Do you know Jada?
Yeah, I connected with her.
Remember I told you give me Jada vibes?
Yeah.
Did you agree?
Yeah.
do you agree?
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
So
Put her in a
Jada,
dress?
back in the day, and I'm not sure if you used to, but back in the day, Jada was super feminine. Like, she's not feminine anymore. Jada fine,
She
right?
was never super feminine.
I mean, I scrolled down.
Not super feminine. Yeah, I met her when she was like 16 or 15. Like, she always been Jada. She was selling t-shirts.
Jada went.
She's feminine, but she
was super feminine. She went to the prom with guys, and she had on her dress and her boobs out, her stilettos, her makeup.
That Monday, she was Jada.
My mom got me for prom too.
100%.
She really got me too.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, whenever Jada posts those flashbacks, the guys go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's facts.
They go nuts. If you need management.
Well, let me tell you like the plan for this summer. So I've been like communicating with a lot of different influencers in Atlanta. And so I was going to do blind dates with dudes. And then I was going to dress super girly. Then we're going to do a part 2. And I'm going to come dressed like regular. And so I'm just going to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was going to do that anyways. And so if I did that in combination with OnlyFans, I'd probably run up a fat bag because people will be mad curious. And that's what people pay for is like curiosity.
And I got to ask, okay, just out of curiosity, do you want to do that? Like, are you going the guy side or kind of?
What do you mean?
You don't date guys, right?
I do date guys. But I mean, I've been dating a girl for like 2 years. Yeah, I date guys. But not like they date me. How about that? Yeah, guys date me.
My kind of girl.
Yeah.
They date me.
Yeah, they more so date me. But like,
what do you mean? Hold on. Like,
I need you to elaborate on the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so the difference of me dating someone and they're dating me is that more so they're more interested in me and I'm entertaining it. And
for a
like,
meal?
I mean, you know, not most times. Most times they like, I'll just be like, oh, you're cool people. I'll entertain it for a little bit. And then...
So you're hanging out and they're lusting.
Yeah. And like, I think the last time I really like dated a guy, he got so mad that I like girls. And I'm like, I never lied about that. Like, I've never lied. And he used to just argue with me. And I'm like, I can't even deal with this.
But do you actually like guys? Like, could you see yourself dating a guy or a girl long-term for long-term relationship?
I could. Yeah, I could. I mean, I'm here for the vibes. So like, if you're cool people, then if we get along, then it's whatever. Like I have all brothers, so I get along with them.
David, I'm seeing the marketability in this.
100%. If you drop OnlyFans after this, because there's like hope, there's like she's...
You always have to leave hope. You know what I'm saying? Is that
Yo, your girl got game.
Yeah, she know what
You
she's
gotta
doing.
leave them hopeful.
Yo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just talking to I was having a conversation with my boy. I don't say his name, just I don't know. One of the best speakers that I ever met in my life. Like talent-wise, he's amazing. He's like, kind of asking questions on how do I kind of get past that and grow, kind of building the brand. And the thing is, the most talented person, I think Myron said it. He said, there's good and bad news. The good news is the most talented person in your city isn't the most successful.
Right.
The most talented person in your city is not the most successful. The other news is, like the bad news is the most talented person in your city is not the most successful. Mm-hmm. So talent alone doesn't necessarily equate to success. And he's like, we just having this conversation. And I said, yo, you need somebody that like sees what the rest of the world doesn't see. So we were talking about like E.T. and CJ. So E.T., immense talent. Like he goes in, best speaker in the world. But then he has this CJ who is like his right hand, where he sees what can we do to disrupt this industry. The first people with a motivational mixtape, because CJ just sees it like, yo, we're going to do a mixtape. CJ just sees this stuff. So Steve Wozniak, super talented. I can put a computer together. He's building the Apple computer, but you need a Steve Jobs who isn't the talent to be able to look at it and say, yo, why do we have all these CDs in my visor in my car? Why can't we just have all the music here? Now, how do you, I don't think that's something that you work on. I don't think you could develop the fact that you see this. But yo, there can be 1,000 songs in here and we just play it from here. And most people are like, yo, what are you talking about? And Steve Jobs just sees this thing. Mm-hmm. If you are super talented, you're good at something, I think the best thing you can do is find somebody who sees it, who can see the talent, who can see like unique, creative ways of marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes you try to do them both and it takes away from you working on your talent, or, you know what I mean?
I think that speaks for most entrepreneurs. For most people who are successful at a thing, you're successful at it because you're skilled at that one thing. Mm-hmm. And then I know, just speaking from my own experience, the stress factors really come in when you're focused on trying to do the parts that you're not good at, right? Especially when you're in the beginning and you don't have the money maybe to invest in the people who are good at the vision or the systems or the technical stuff, whatever it is. And you're that one person show and you're having to think about it, right? Like you design dresses, you sew them, you put them together, but how they're going to get on the models, I don't want to think about that, right? How I'm going to get all of this press, I don't want to think about that. So we have to, and this is really why building community is so important, because you have all these crazy entrepreneurs in one environment, and outside of this environment, people think that your dreams are crazy or they're too big or you'll never get stuff done. You match with the right person who is the right talent, and then you're the right technical person, or you're the right marketer, or you're the right operation. Magic begins to happen.
Y'all, which one of y'all think, like if you had to pick two of your strongest suit, either I am really, 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 really good, talented at what I do, or you're somebody that like just sees it. You see like just the whole creative process, how this could be crazy. And I want to just think about it for a second. But my man, with Happy Ice, I asked him the question of, what do you think was your most amazing idea that you executed on? And he was talking about he was doing these pop-up shops where he'll take his food truck and it'll just like pop up at different places, say, how I'm gonna be here and be here. He said, yo, I started to look at my food truck as a rapper that's going on tour. And he said, yo, it's like Lil Wayne. I looked at my food truck as Lil Wayne. And he said, what we did was, instead of like, yo, we're gonna do pop-up shops, he said, I created a tour schedule. Like, yo, we're going on tour. And he just continued to look at it and dress up this food truck as a rapper or a rock star. He said what was happening is people would meet him in these different places. And it was so crazy. The idea was so dope. He said a mall reached out to him and they're over like mad different malls. And they're like, yo, we want you to do the tour at our malls. And he said, when we got to the different malls, it was like people lining up. They were celebrating us like we were a rapper. Like, yo, they're here, right? Just excited. But how do you come up with an idea like that? How do you see it? So how many people feel like you're just immensely talented? And if I had a Steve Jobs that can see why there needs to be 10,000 songs in one device, you'll be out of here. So how many people think they're a talent? Talent. Huge talent. Talent, really, really good. Talent, really good. What about visionary? Like you see the stuff. Good. Both? You have to go to the mic. You got to go to the mic. Yeah, because I can't go that way. So I do believe that, the challenge with both is though, you become super critical because you're really, really good, but the vision has to align and you got to actually do it the right way. And sometimes it makes it hard to execute.
Yeah, so I definitely think that I'm a talent in some sense of the word, but also a visionary. But there's also levels to everything. So you want to build a strong team and you also want to have people who are abstract thinkers. So while you were talking, I was also thinking like, do you want to just be the only person that has, creative control or influence on the direction of what you're trying to do? Or do you want to involve people who maybe have experiences in other things and success in other things? So that's where
like
it comes.
What? Give me an example.
Visionary. Like, for example, you have a podcast, but you also work with a production team. You also have other people, like a co-host. So she has another audience or she has a different vision of how the conversation should go or how things should be covered. Mm-hmm. So even with that being said, somebody who has more experience in the area that you're in is definitely very vital and important to your direction. So even though I feel like I'm a talent or I feel like I have a lot of ideas or I can elaborate or talk about what I want to do, somebody with experience would definitely be vital and beneficial to what I'm doing.
I think it's important to lean into one.
I have mixed feelings about it. If you read the book Traction, you'll see that there are people who are the talent. There are people who are the visionary. There's a very, very small percentage of people who are both, right? And I think what you have to really, really assess is which one are you? Some people who say I'm both are absolutely not both. You're just not both, right? And you have to start assessing what does the talent do? What does the creative do? What does the visionary do? And actually identify the roles that person will play. And are you being the talent? And are you being the visionary? And are you doing both parts effectively? And if you're not, then you ask yourself, which one am I most effective at? The talent or the vision? But there are some people who are very, very, very good at both the execution and seeing the big picture. That you're good in the details in this moment right now, and you can see the big picture of it. You are also someone who's really good at it. You lean into one side, but you're really, really good at doing both. I am a both person. Depending on the role that I'm playing, I lean into one side. So when I am working with clients, I am more of the strategist that's focused on the details, right? But I have to keep the bigger picture in mind. Most of my clients don't really see their big picture clearly. When I'm working, though, in my business, I have someone else who focuses on the details, and I'm strictly focused on the vision. In fact, one of the biggest frustrations as a CEO for me was having to, in my own business, focus on the details. But in my clients' businesses, I love focusing on the details. So I think it's situational, but also facing the reality of I'm not both.
But I think that's three different roles between the details, the talent, and the vision. The vision and the details are different. Like you need somebody who can focus on the details and say, okay, we're going to start a podcast, right? So for instance, the visionary says, yo, you know what'd be dope? We do a podcast where we're breaking down music, like rap songs. So there was, I love talking, I was telling the kids this.
I want to invite you to pick my brain.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine too.
Yours too.
They can
Okay,
pick
you
my brain.
guys. We are so excited because we just dropped our newest podcast series called the Brain Picker Podcast. David.
Oh, it's going down. You get to pick our brain. You have a business idea, a concept. You're stuck. You can't get off the ground. You need the advice of seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs that are practitioners, but we got a lot of people that we've been coaching all over the last decade.
All over the globe.
That got receipts.
Not just that, you never know where your next investor might be hanging out. And the word on the street is we got all the connections.
That's a big fact.
We got all the connections. So if you want to sit down with us and pick our brains.
In front of our audience.
And we're letting you pick our brains. We won't even talk bad about you for doing it in front of our audience, bringing your business maximum exposure. Find the link somewhere around here, wherever you see it.
It's there.
And apply
right now
to pick our brain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
I was listening to a song. You know how somebody puts a song on Instagram and you're like, oh, I ain't heard that in a minute. And you go to Spotify, you listen to it. That's what happened. So there's a song, You Must Love Me by Jay-Z. Y'all remember that song? First,
Tell us how it go.
That's crazy.
Spit real quick.
No, it's all good. It was the last song on I don't think it was Reasonable Doubt. It might have been Volume 1. Volume 1. So the first verse, he's telling this story of how his mother only like motivated him, but he sold his mom crack. And we're looking at the story. It wasn't, he was talking about his mom. He was talking about like people in that situation. He said, constant motivate. You never let him hold you back. What I do, turn around and I sold you crack. I was something for that. Something drowning in shame, something, you're not to blame. So he's telling this story of how he regrets how he treated the person who birthed him and loved him. She always tried to motivate him. Second verse, right? He's recounting a story of how he shot his brother. So y'all remember, right? The song? He said, where my rings? Knew you had it because you took too long. As Mickey, Annie, and the girl that bought it looked on. Huffing and puffing, gun in my hand, told you step outside. Hoping you said no, but you hurt my pride. So he invited his brother to come see him outside. Jay-Z has a gun on him. He walks downstairs and he shoots his brother. He's telling the story, but through his mind this whole time, he's knowing he's wrong, but he's doing it anyway. The third verse, he starts talking about this girl that he absolutely, and he said at the end of that verse, he said, how could I go out that way? Still you asked to see me in the hospital the next day. You must love me, right? So he's talking about the people that love him that he does dirty. Third verse is, I guess, a girl that he's dating and he straps her with some drugs, puts her on the plane. And at the end of the verse, he says, how could I, pretty much, what would make me sacrifice your life for this money? You must love me. So it's a man that's torn between the lifestyle that he has, the stuff that he does, and he's hurting the people along the way. There could be a dope podcast behind that. Let's just take the music and let's break down what's being said in the songs. It takes a Steve Jobs to think of that. Yo, you know what would be dope? Let's do this idea. But then it has to be a talent, somebody who really knows music and can relate the stories in the music to actual life. Somebody that's best in the world at, I understand the song and they know what's going on in the news and how they can relate that, put it together and be a dope podcast host. Now, the person who comes up with the idea may not necessarily be the best podcast host to be able to facilitate a conversation, right? But then you need the person who's actually going to record it, edit it, make it look right, and present it a certain way, right? That's 3 different roles to produce something amazing. But I think it's important to identify what you are, because if you know what you are, you can go find the rest. You might have really good ideas, and now you're just looking for talent. So that's what I'm doing right now with this podcast network. I want to build out a podcast network, and I'm going to come up with the concepts and then find really talented people to fulfill this particular concept. But then we still need somebody focusing on the details because I'm not into, okay, is the name registered? How's this name going to come across? I mean, is it, what industry are we focused on? All that kind of stuff. I just got a good idea. But let's say you're the talent and you know you could do that. You need to find somebody who has a visionary that knows what to do with the talent. Mm-hmm. So I think those are just 3 strong components that we need to look for to really build something. I would 100% love to just be talent right now. Yeah. But I can't find anybody that like can take me and be like, come up with something, just an amazing idea and be able to execute.
Mm-hmm. So you're also operating as your own visionary.
Yeah, right now. Mm-hmm. Right now. But I don't want to. I'd rather lean into one. I'd rather focus on being dope.
Yeah, but you are a born visionary. And people who are born visionaries never stop leaning into their imagination of things that can happen.
True.
You're always going to think about ideas. I'm always going to think about ideas. And you just so happen to be the talent. And the key to that is to find the executors. Find those people who can take your vision now and allow you to be the talent in it. Because you only have to communicate the vision one time to the right team. And then you sit and be the talent. And then everybody else are in the details of making it happen. But the struggle comes in trying to be all of those things and not really understanding which role you are. We did an episode a while back about number 2s, being super strong number 2s, and this kind of leans into that, right? So many people want to be the talent when realistically, you're just not the talent. And a good example of that are songwriters in the music industry who can sing.
Yep.
You can sing your behind off, but there's something about you that's not putting you in, and you're chasing the dream of being a singer. Mm-hmm. You believe that your talent is being the singer, but the record producers and the artists believe that your talent is actually just in writing the songs. Mm-hmm. Like, we get it. You're pretty, but you're missing personality, or you got personality, but you're missing the look that we're looking for, or whatever it is. So miscalculating what the talent actually is and trying so hard. And you hear about these stories all the time. Man, I was trying to be an artist and I was in the studio demoing songs, and then such and such artist walked in and was like, yo, let me get that. And then you end up being a songwriter and you thrive. Mm-hmm. But all the time you spent trying to be the main attraction, the singer, the artist.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think record labels do that, right? They have an amazing talent, then they hire a marketing department. Mm-hmm. And the marketing department's job is to say, yo, what can we do with this in a unique way? So obviously, I hope you all just at least start to think through, how can I approach this in a unique way? Because a good idea is just a good idea. But if you don't approach the market in a unique way, it's just a good idea. Oh, that's really good. Anybody feel like you got a really good idea? In your head, it's a really good idea, but for some reason, people ain't buying it. For some reason, it's not sticking. You're like, yo, this is the most amazing idea in the world.
Who in here has a good idea that people just aren't buying?
Anybody? Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Like an amazing idea that you tried to put out there and people just don't seem to be buying.
And you can't figure out why. Yo, y'all don't see this? Like, this is phenomenal.
How many, or I guess, how long should we execute before we come to you all, Mr.
Find a visionary
Steve Jobs?
Because it doesn't have to be, if y'all come up with you just got to find somebody that believes in what y'all doing. Mm-hmm. It don't have to be a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some really good products and like okay. So me and Donni, we be like thinking about it all the time. We see somebody with a dope talent, we like, yo, we can use them.
Mm-hmm. Let's run it.
We can partner with them. Mm-hmm. Because we're gonna see some stuff and we can see how that talented person can just be talented. But we can give the creative marketing to it.
But isn't that like someone going on Shark Tank with no sales? Like, you know what I'm saying?
They get deals.
Rarely ever does anyone that go on Shark Tank with no sales get a deal, because they're like, your valuation is like way too high every time.
Not necessarily the case. There are some people who have no sales, they get deals. There are some people who have a whole bunch of sales that don't get deals. Yeah. Absolutely. The talented person says, yo, or they're either buying the talent or the vision. There are some people that got an amazing plan and they can answer all the questions and they like, yo, I got some resources that all this person needs is a little fuel on the fire. If you got, so for instance, I don't want to keep like beating it, but my point is, you just got to show how good you are, and I promise you, somebody gonna be like, yo, I want parts of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my man, Lamel with the Happy Ice joint, his product was so good. And he said he was, and I hate to give away that, but y'all's gonna watch the episode when it drops. But he said that this guy walks up with his family and they buy some. And he tastes it and his family's tasting it. And he said the guy asked, yo, is this as amazing as I think it is? Yo, he's asking his family. His family's like, yes, that's good. So long story short, I'm really telling the whole episode, right? It's just crazy, but y'all my family. So he says the guy invites him to his house to be a vendor at a bar mitzvah, right? So he says, yo, he sees all these major brands there, like big brands there. And more, I don't want to tell the whole story, but long story short, this guy, I think he invented something and sold it for like 450 million, 650 million, something like that. And the product was so good. I guess the branding on the truck was really, really good. The guy says, yo, I want to invest in that. Mm-hmm. And they cut a deal and they invested in it. Simply because he worked, you'll hear a story on how he worked on perfecting this product. Mm-hmm. And then when someone experienced the product, you're like, yo, this is amazing. I would love to give you my money. So.
Which brings me to another way of doing business. Like even.
And I'm sorry, because that could have been his first sale of the day. Guy didn't know. Mm-hmm. He just knows this product's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah. Brings us to another way to do business. Like some entrepreneurs are struggling because you're staying in an idea too long. Mm. You may come up with these incredible ideas and you find a David and a Donni who wants to buy it, but I don't want you in it. But they stay attached. Like I might not necessarily see your value in it. You have an amazing idea. Maybe you were a visionary, but that's kind of the end of your road. You have to also ask yourself, do I have a marketable idea that I just need to sell? And maybe you're such a great visionary that your vision allows you to come up with all of these ideas that you just sell off to whoever wants to buy it. And that's your way to your creating your legacy and your financial freedom. But there's so many people who just want to stay attached to that idea because it's their idea.
Yeah, 100%.
And you make no money.
What's up?
For my brand, and then I have the talent, but I struggle with, I guess, marketing it, and also, I guess, like I feel like I need more people like to help implement.
Give me the vision.
So, my vision for my fashion brand is to build it into a household name, a couture household name, and my vision for my sewing company is to help other Black women do the same thing.
All right. Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs' vision wasn't, I want my brand to be a household name. Mm-hmm. Vision is like, how can we like disrupt specifically? Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, Steve Jobs' movie, he sees a computer with two speakers on the side and he says to himself, yo, why are there speakers on the side? Why can't they just be all in one unit? That's like, yo, this can disrupt the world. Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, he's like, yo, I want to bring the community together, or I want everybody to know what Amazon is. His vision is like, yo, how can I get 100,000 stores to vend in a virtual mall?
Mm-hmm. How do you disrupt your industry? You shake things up. Like, she's coming, she's powerful. That's vision.
Everybody got a vision for my brand. I want to be the number one podcast. Or I want to, like, specific creative vision is something when people hear it, they're like, yo.
You desire to be a household brand. You have a burning desire to be a household brand, just like the Gucci's, the Louis Vuittons, the Guesses, whatever it is. But what's the vision? What vision is going to make you a household brand?
Okay, that makes sense.
So you have a talent. You're leaning more towards talent. And everybody here has a vision. But I'm talking about where you could see stuff. I'm talking about somebody that see visions of, yo, that would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No gas.
Mm-hmm. I see it. I can see the
gas.
car moving, no gas. In fact, I see it so clearly that I now see a world without gas stations at all.
100%. Yo, I was at CJ house one time. This was years ago. He was like, yo, he said, I really be having like these visions and these ideas. He's like, yo, I was asking myself the other day, why do cars still have 4 wheels? Why can't it be like on a little ball and it just, I'm talking about like just seeing somebody saw, yo, okay, we got all these drivers on Uber. Why do we need a driver?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we need a driver?
Tesla.
100%.
Tesla. Do people really need to be using their hands and paying attention? Like, is there not an easier way to prevent accidents?
The average person would never even see that. A car driving without a human. Most people would never see
cars flying. Like people, the average person who's not a visionary thinks that the Jetsons was just far-fetched imagination. Visionaries see it and like one day, I don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime, but one day there are going to be flying cars.
100%. Sitting in traffic like, yo, why? Look at all this space between where I'm at in traffic and the airplane. Why
are you still doing that?
Why are we still doing that? Why can't I get a little spinner wheel?
We bending clouds in the air. You hear
me? What's up?
What's up? My name is @BigHomie_ the credit finesser. I was a visionary. When I came out with the Credit Finesse Reloaded, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just make a course for myself until I was like, you know what? I don't know everything. I know what I know and I'm good at what I know. So I may as well bring on other talent. So I built out a financial literacy course. And my goal is to show people how to get access to trust money. Mm-hmm. We may call it other people money. Those credit cards. That's not. Yeah, somebody told us somewhere down the line that we're supposed to be paying back bills. Federal law says different. So I'm out to free 1,000 people before 2022.
So they don't pay no bills? Hold on. You don't pay no bills?
I don't pay no bills, my money.
Who you pay bills?
My trust money.
How you get money in the trust?
You already have $1 billion in trust. You just don't know it. And they made sure you didn't know that.
So you tapped into some money that you ain't have to work for, and you pay your bills with that money.
Since 1933, we've all supposed to been living for free. Since HJR 192 and gold and silver was taken out of circulation.
So you got $1 billion?
You got $1 billion.
Do you have $1 billion?
Yes.
Can I get $1 million?
Yes.
Can I have
from you?
Yeah, can you give me $1 million?
Can I get $1 million from you?
I can show you how to get yours.
No. If you have $1 billion, I'm trying to. Can I have 100,000 out of this free $1 billion that you got? You're not gonna spend the whole $1 billion, right?
Yes, I will.
What you supposed to?
Why not?
No, I'm asking.
Assets to get.
Huh?
I got assets to get.
Why do you need assets when you got $1 billion?
I'm not gonna be here all the time. What I know goes with me. So that's why I'm here to teach other people how to get access to.
So you don't pay none of your, you don't, what do you sell? What's your product?
It's Credit Finesse Reloaded. It's a financial literacy course that actually introduces people to the laws that were actually hidden from us. And
gotcha. So what do you do with that money that you make from the course?
I reinvest it. I started getting my trust built out, reinvested in marketing.
You got to build out the trust, or you already get the $1 billion?
Oh, no. The trust is protect you and to get you out of this matrix. But
the $1 billion's already in the trust, though, right?
Yes.
Why is the course not free? You already got $1 billion.
Oh.
Need these few $100.
I thought it wasn't business. Everything is business. Somebody making money off you right now. Your birth certificate is being traded on the Securities and Exchange market right now.
So what he is saying holds some truth, right?
I feel like I just never seen nobody actually go, oh, you want $1 billion? I give you 30,000 right now out of my $1 billion.
What he is communicating, based on what I've learned in the last year about trust, holds some truth. You're just doing a terrible job at communicating it.
Yes, I know. That's why I was telling you the other day. I was like, I need to go on the Brain Picker podcast because I know I believe in my product. My people believe in my product. To date, I've started pre-sales from the first to today, $25K.
Right.
On my pre-sales.
And let me be clear. I don't know that our birthright has given us all $1 billion through a trust. I do know that putting a trust in place protects your assets heavily from your person. So I know those things.
You gotta put something in the trust.
And I know that you do. And I know that there are certain birthrights that the average person is unaware of. I don't know that it's $1 billion, right? But that just also goes back to now you got a bunch of people who are looking at you saying you're selling hope and dreams and a bunch of BS.
If you go get me $1 million out of your $1 billion, I give you 1.1. How long is it going to take for you to get the money?
How long is it going to take for me to get the money?
Yeah, to get the... Anytime somebody asks the question again, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take?
This looking like a real Megan Thee Stallion, Gayle King interview right now.
Hey, what?
So did you have sex?
So
you mean sexual intercourse? Me and him?
Well, see this.
Oh no.
This is my thing.
When you say sex, do you mean sex like the real kind, or we talking about cash money, spendable, not Monopoly?
Because that's just what I'm getting.
Everything is Monopoly. You just don't think that it's Monopoly.
Right. Jesus Christ. In layman's terms, can you put your hands on $1 million to put in my hands right now?
From the $1 billion
right
trust?
Now? No, I can't do it right now. It's a process.
Can we do it by the end of business today?
No.
How long does it take to get the money out of the $1 billion?
It depends on how long it takes for your for everything to get built up. For you probably already got good credit.
What's the most?
For you, it's going to be a lot easier than somebody who don't.
But I'm talking about you. What's the most that you've pulled from this $1 billion?
I pulled $100K last year.
And you don't got to pay it back to nobody?
I haven't.
Huh?
I haven't.
You don't have, nobody's expecting the money back?
I haven't. This is what I'm telling you.
No, I understand you haven't. I haven't paid off my student loans. I get that part. But I'm talking about nobody's expected, nobody's sending you a letter saying, yo,
they're not sending it to him personally. And like at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, am I trying to be cute or am I trying to make sales? Because right now it's like a whole lot of cute happening right now.
I don't care about the sales. I just want people to be aware. That's the thing.
Well, but you're not making anybody aware is what you got to understand. There's no awareness happening right now. It sounds ridiculous, right? And there's some truth to what you're saying. So if your mission is to educate people that they have access to these things that can really free a nation, you got to tighten up how you communicate that.
100%. Understood. Because I heard you got access to $1 billion, and I'm trying to think, why if he has access to $1 billion, he's selling a course and is hype about the 25,000? I don't get it.
Because that's for my daughter.
But you got the $1 billion for your daughter. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. All right.
If I die today, what I know goes with me. I don't
but your trust doesn't.
Why can't we just pull the $1 billion up?
That's what I'm saying. I'm setting up my trust now.
You about to activate my frustration to a whole other.
You have the trust with the $1 billion, or you're setting it up?
No, you already have it. I'm putting a trust together so I don't own anything and I control everything. That's the reason for the trust.
So you're putting a trust together to get the money from the $1 billion trust?
No, I don't need the trust. I need the trust just in case I leave here today and I die today. Everything I know goes with me. My $1 billion goes with me. That's what I'm saying. The trust in the course and all of this,
but
my
she won't
business
even need your $1 billion if she got her own.
So she got her own.
But she doesn't know. So
why are we leaving her 25K?
She doesn't know what I know.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, we have to talk about it because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. But moral of the story, the reason we go through all this stuff is there's something to be said. That's why I always ask people, when you're selling, especially like education, I want to know, one, have you done the thing that you're selling yourself?
Yes.
And two, how many other people have you helped?
Yeah.
Because we say, okay, well, I helped 5 people. Well, there's more than 5 different types of situations, which really doesn't make you a guru. Tell me, my man Kenny, he'll always give his numbers on how many points. How many points has it been? Like the
Hundreds of thousands.
We've gotten
200,000+ points.
Hundreds of thousands of points raised. That's somebody I want to talk to. I get it. 100%. Education, he knows it. He's been through so many different situations. There's so many. I want to see, one, have you done what you're selling? And do you have enough like receipts? But here's what's cool. If you go through that process, that means you have a skill set. But that won't guarantee you getting to the level that you'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
You still need that person that says, how can I take this talent and offer it to the world in a very unique way? Some people just don't think that. You don't think like that. And that's not something that you practice. I think some people are just born with, yo, this would be crazy. Really good idea.
And too many people die with that too.
100%.
Because you're not finding the executor.
Yep.
You're afraid to communicate your vision for whatever reason. It sounds foolish. It sounds too good to be true. Like, imagine if Steve Jobs didn't say, why can't it all just be in a handheld device? We'd all still be rolling through our CD books in the car. There's
some amazing, they're the great thinkers. Think about the telephone. There was one point where if I was going to say something to you, I got to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Or write it down. But even that, somebody said, yo, how can I more effectively get this letter from here to there? So where was the first post office? Or did the person set up a post office in every city first? And how you do that? I'm in LA. It's a place called Soho Social Club.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest thing. And I just can't. I was just so frustrated because I can't think of how he did it. They have 40 social clubs all around the world. So I'm with my boy AD. They got a couple of them in LA, a couple in New York. They got one in Miami, I believe. And he said he was somewhere else, whether it was like Denmark or something like that. He said, yeah, I went to one there, wherever it was. It's a members-only club where it's like $5,000 to get in, but there's a... you got to be accepted. They actually denied Kim Kardashian from being a member. Like, no, you can't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But like, you go to the club, it's like, he took me to this big building. It's like 2 or 3 restaurants in there. They got a gym. They have hotel rooms. But you can only get in and socialize if you're like in LA, you got to really be like a creative, stuff like that, right? You get in and you can like use the amenities and maybe bring like a guest or whatever, a guest or two. But how did they set that up?
Mm-hmm.
It have 40 of them all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
They have almost 60,000 people on a wait list.
Wow.
119,000 members. All pay $5,000 a year. That's the membership. But you still got to go in and you're going to buy some drinks. You're going to buy food.
Yeah.
You want to rent one of the hotels for the night. Like, you could do screenings there, like members only. Crazy. And I cannot think of how they did that. It's crazy. Go for it. But that's the kind of stuff that, like, for a creative and a visionary, that's the kind of stuff that really gets me excited. Like, yo.
How did you pull this off?
How? So AD says, he's like, yo, get one in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I come in as an investor.
Okay.
He's like, huh? They do have the gathering spot. That's $200 a month or something like that. That's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more of like a higher level gathering spot. But I see what they're doing, right? Because they got one in Atlanta and they're putting one in LA. I want to say it might be open.
I got one in DC and New York.
They're running the model. Like, and he was telling me that there's certain restaurants, it's just a restaurant, but you can't get in unless you're a member.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, how the heck do you do that? And AD is like, yo, you got to just go to all the parties and just start telling people about this membership that's coming, and then you launch with a few of them. And I'm like, or we set up a restaurant that's really, really good food, and we start telling certain people that this will be members only in a little bit. You want to be on the waiting list. And then one day a regular person is going to go to that restaurant and they can't get in.
Can't get in.
This is the kind of stuff for like people that think like big. This is the kind of stuff that get me off. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
No.
He has an idea he was telling me about. that will align with that. I don't want to put it out.
No, yeah, for sure.
I want to put it because he's like really thinking about doing this, and it'll align exactly. And if you guys got together,
yeah,
there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Got the talent.
The way you fixed his mouth, y'all should see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Last one because we
hungry.
It was just a quick question. I was sitting here thinking, and you all was talking about the visionaries, your implementers, and what would you call the group of people when you had your business, you had your visionaries, and you had a group of visionaries that you bounced the ideas off of? What would you call that when you had that group or collective of visionaries for your business? What would you call that? It was just a quick question for that.
It'd be a
It could be a mastermind. It could be an accountability group. It can be a board of directors.
It could be a group of friends.
It could be a group of friends.
It could be the morning meetup.
It could be brunch.
It could be brunch. It could be let's go to brunch.
What's the significance? Yeah, let's go to brunch, talk business. Like we do that all the time. What's the significance of giving it a name?
Well, so it could be that's the actual thing that we're coming to do. Like,
and is it for the same business?
For the same business. Like that's what the job is.
Yeah, you can make it. That can be what your initial board of directors is.
That's what Circle of CEOs do.
Yeah, a group of visionaries who get together for one common vision.
Gotcha.
Grow it.
Yep. But it takes somebody that can actually pull that off. How do you get people all together in one room?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
High level.
That's what I need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Valuable, guys.
Y'all got something from today? Yeah.
Good. Okay. You want to go first?
We're done. This episode was brought to you by Six Figure EDU. Six Figure EDU, you guys, is the dopest community for coaches, consultants, and course creators. Listen, if you are like any of the people that you saw here today and you know something about something and other people need to know it too, you want to teach people, you want to coach people, you need to connect with me at sixfigureedu.com, sixfigureedu.com. We fully train and develop you from scratch. Also, post to paid for those established entrepreneurs who are struggling to convert, connect, and communicate with people on your social media channels. You just don't know what to post.
The material looks wild. Good. It's nice. Go ahead. Keep going.
You don't know what to post to connect and convert your audience from followers into buyers. Post to Pay literally sends out 3 text message prompts every single day directly to your cell phone with what exactly you should be posting on social media to do just that. Convert, connect, and get cash from your followers. And you can get information about that by texting 404-737-2767. Just text the words Post to Paid. You can also text just to get on my list for business tips and tricks and hacks that I send out at least weekly. 404-737-2767. David is, distracting me about the material of my dress while he's sitting here wearing Lycra jeans.
I want a Sprite so bad. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. This whole episode, I'll be like, I don't know, just craving a Sprite. It's crazy. All right. This episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup. TheMorningMeetup.com is the only organization that gathers every single day. If you want to learn and grow and find a community of entrepreneurs that you can learn from, collaborate with, be inspired by, you need to join The Morning Meetup. We actually have an app. Did y'all know we had an app? Y'all in the app? Good. Go to The Morning Meetup on all your app stores. Join the app, okay? We have a phenomenal book club. Just amazing. I will talk to you every single day of every single week for every single year if you just sign up. I'll be there every day, Monday through Friday. Teaching entrepreneurship, coaching you all. We get together. You have access to these live recordings. So that's why most of the people are here because they're in The Morning Meetup. So go to themorningmeetup.com and enroll. Get the app, okay?
Yep. Let's do it. Oh. We can't not mention the Brain Picker podcast.
Can't not. New website's up. Go to the website, y'all, real quick. Tell me what you see.
Yeah, go real quick.
BrainPickerPodcast.com.
BrainPickerPodcast.com.
Tell me that's not a website.
And then just blurt out the first word that you think when you see this website. BrainPickerPodcast.com.
Podcast.com. I see the website. It's just, it's like the chuckles like, dang, that's lit.
What'd y'all say?
Listen, man, that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. He mad because we told no.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That was a Steve Jobs moment for me. It really was. I'm like, yo, how can we not only coach people, because we don't do like one-on-one coaching, either one of us, but how can we put attention on individual businesses? How can we make money? But how can we expose the people that we're coaching to our audience? And it's just a perfect storm. So go to brainpickerpodcast.com. We'd love to coach you and get you in front of people. Just get you in front of an audience. I believe that if you spent $3,000 on Facebook ads, it's not going to nearly get you the result of being in front of our audience and on our YouTube, which lasts forever.
Yeah.
It's there forever. There's no way you can get in front of that many people for that long for this investment. And you get like the coaching, because we're really good at this.
Really good at
go
that
to brainpickerpodcast.com.
It's time for you guys to go ahead and get your episode on the calendar. Yeah.
Oh, you just paid for it and you just waiting to get it on the calendar?
I don't know what we're waiting for.
I gotta, I'm gonna speak to you guys about it.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So look, man, like, subscribe, share this podcast with everyone you know. Okay. If it's going to help somebody, don't keep it to yourself.
That's a fact.
We out here.
That's a fact.
Peace.
We are out of here. Goodbye, guys.
Y'all not clapping?
Where was that burst of energy? That random burst of energy.